Hi guys, today we are going to talk about Vivec, God King of the Dark Elves, member of the Tribunal, warrior poet, and Molag Bal fucker. I bet you didn't know that Vivec's spear is also his life-giving organ. To understand that, you need to understand his relationship with his ex-boyfriend, Molag Bal. To discuss this, we're going to be looking into Sermon 12 and Sermon 14 from the 36 lessons, which you can read in Elder Scrolls Online. But before we do, I just want to clarify that Vivec is male and female. You can learn that by reading Sermon 8, where it discusses the birth of Vivec. Vivec then reached out from the egg, all his limbs and features, the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite. So that's something you really need to know going in to be slightly less confused. In Sermon 12, Vivec is out wandering in the Badlands because he doesn't have Wi-Fi, they don't have anything to do. So he decides to play with his giant form. Problem with his giant form is that if you walk with his giant, chubby, heavy, divine feet, they make you sink into the ground. So he changes his feet into cotton candy. So he is out prancing through the Badlands with cotton candy feet, and Molag Bal appears. Now, this text refers to Molag Bal as the king of rape, which I'm not sure if that is appropriate here because what occurs does seem to be consensual. Vivec looks on to the king of rape and says, "How very beautiful you are that you do not join us, Molag Bal." And now, first of all, this should really call into question Vivec's sensibilities, right? Because Molag Bal is not a attractive creature. I think he means like Gollum us, you know, by us I mean me. And maybe he means like, hey, come hang out with me and my god friends, but probably not. Anyway, Molag Bal really gets flustered at hearing a compliment and he steps on warrior poet's feet. Then Molag Bal's demons cut off Vivec's feet. And mighty fires were brought in to create kind of like a fire hammock, which Vivec then rests in. Like, this is courtship for gods. This is what they do. Vivec seems to be totally fine with all this, and he says, "I would prefer some kind of ceremony if we were to be married." So as you can see, gods and Daedra, they take it pretty fast. Like, they went from, hey, you're sexy, to let's get married within the span of like one fire hammock. Now, Molag Bal is supposed to be the king of domination, right? They call him the king of rape. And so I was a little surprised at his reaction to Vivec requesting a ceremony, because Molag Bal's like, "Baby, I got you. Let's do it up." And so he gets his little demons to order catering for the banquet. He sets up tents. He plants some fruit trees. He's got the chocolate fountain going. And just for fun, he invites some Velothi mystics to come and cry a lot for atmosphere, because remember, he's a Daedra. That's what they like. Then Vivec's like, "Okay, look, if we're gonna smash, let's do it quick because I got an appointment at 5 o'clock and I really have shit to do, so you got 1 hour." Molag Bal's like, "That's fine, baby. All I need is 1 minute." And so he then sensually extends his 6 arms, which he's written seductive messages all over. And he says, "Where must it go?" So basically, where do you want me? He's a real mess, but Vivec's into it, so blah, 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 blah. They make thousands of horrible monster babies. We can skip over Sermon 13 because there's not anything that actually happens into it. It's just kind of weird poetic rambling. It's an intermission between season 1 and season 2. So let's get to season 2, Sermon 14. So even though Vivec told Molag Bal that he had 1 hour, he ended up, quote, laying with him for 88 days. So clearly Molag Bal underestimated his abilities. They pretty much mixed together the marriage, the reception, and the honeymoon poon. So all the demons from the banquet are still there, eating fruit and zombie spirits and whatever they can get their hands on. Vivec noticed that his, quote, body had been tenderly used. He tells Molag Bal, "Hey, you've gently used my body. You've been so gentle, but, you know, I thought you were the Lord of Brutality." And Molag Bal's like, "I have yet to learn how to refine my rapture. My love is accidentally shaped like a spear." In other words, you know, look, I'm still learning how to use my dick, which is a spear. Vivec's like, "Well, my dick is a spear too." So to quote the sermon, they took their spears out and compared them. Vivec bit new words onto the king of rapes. So they got their spear dicks out and they're comparing them, and Vivec leans down to nibble on Molag Bal's. And while this is going on, I quote, "The Velofian demons and monsters that were watching all took out their own spears, and there was much biting, and the earth became wet." Wet with what should be pretty obvious. I'm not gonna explain that to you. I'm not your mother. There's so much of this wet stuff on the ground that Molag Bal's like, "Watch as the earth shall crack like a sock, heavy with so much power." Then the ground literally cracks open and more babies come out of the ground. Vivec then decides it's time to upgrade his spear based on what he's learned from looking at Molag Bal's spear, which he was impressed by. And he uses it to just smack Molag Bal into the crack of the monster babies. Like, he is done. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Vivec's like, "Okay, I've had enough. What do we even have to talk about? I'm done." Vivec starts swinging his spear around and just killing everybody. He then named his new and improved spear dick Milk Taker. Pretty good spear dick name, actually. I can't think of a better one. So there you go. I bet you didn't know that his spear is actually also his genitalia. They're nibbling on them for the recreation, and they're making babies with them, and they're killing with them. So that's just how gods and Daedra do their thing. I hope this was a fun and educational video for you. If you'd like to see more Storytime Elder Scrolls videos, please let me know in the comments section below. I certainly had a lot of fun reading about this and bringing this information to you. That's very important. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you from the HQ. Take care.